London Fog is a brown ale from Short's Brewing Company out of Bel Air, Michigan. 6.75 ABV, 12 IBUs. London Fog is an English-style brown ale brewed with Earl Grey tea, vanilla, and lactose. There was a crazy more in-depth description of the beer on their website. It was like 2 paragraphs long, it felt like, so for time purposes, I left it out. I'll leave a link in the description here. But hey, let's talk some beer. Guys, there were so many words that describe this beer on their website. There was things like citrus, mint, peach, raspberry, vanilla, sugar. I'm starting to think that the beer aspect is the last thing that is really focused on with a lot of these craft beers lately. Don't get me wrong, I love craft beer and I love the variety of things, but man, that's a ton of stuff to put into a single beverage there. I don't know if my brain is gonna be able to fully comprehend it there. Let's get right into it. So right off the bat, let's get into a little bit with the smell here. So I know I literally just said a moment ago, there are so many different elements in this that like the beer is the afterthought, but honestly this smells like a typical brown ale. It does have a beer scent to it there. It does have the malty, almost kind of earthy elements that I expect from a brown ale. A little bit on the sweeter side. If I'm digging really hard into the smell, I can get that mint, but I'm searching real deep for it there. I'm digging holes like Shia LaBeouf. I'm also not really sure on what Earl Grey tea tastes or even smells like. I'm not a big tea drinker myself, so I'm kind of curious to see what happens with that. But again, smells like a beer, smells pretty kind of average at best in terms of the smell factor there. We'll see. This is very interesting. I can tell it's a beer. Very smooth overall. I'm wondering, like, again, the tea aspect, the Earl Grey tea, just really balances it out, makes it very smooth across the front and the back end. Very sweet, as mentioned before too. I do get the notes of vanilla that it pronunciates in the description for it. First burp, that happens right off the bat. Wow. A bit carbonated as well, literally right off the rip. I think they kind of oversold this with all the descriptive words. Again, I'm not getting peach, I'm not getting raspberry, not getting mint. If I had to narrow it down, I'm getting very malty from a brown ale. Tea smoothness, again, that I would expect if I was to have like a tea of sorts. And sweet. Not overbearingly sweet. It is sweet, but not something that tastes out of the realm of a brown ale. I suppose a little bit after drinking it, front end, there is a citrus note to it. There is a lemony kind of citrus twang to it right on the very tip of the tongue, but after that it kind of diminishes there. I'm not getting a fruitful, playful note of any sort of fruits afterwards. There's nothing that's extremely overarchingly amazing about it. There's nothing incredibly bland about it. It's what I would expect from a good brown ale. I think there's just something about the fact that there's Earl Grey tea in a beer that just messes with my head a little bit. I've had every different type of beer out there, and habaneros and chocolate and everything under the sun. I've had a beer brewed with pig parts. I get a hint of class when I'm drinking something with some Earl Grey tea in it. And it's telling my mind that it's not beer, even though it is, and it tastes very much like a beer. So I know I sounded like I was kind of flip-flopping between yay and nay on it there, but overall, would I recommend this? Yeah, I would definitely give this a shot if you find it there. I think the descriptions and the research I was doing into it kind of set the expectations a little bit higher than what actually came about in terms of all the different flavor profiles that were supposed to be there. But I would definitely say give this a shot. I could easily have a couple of these in the night, no problem. It's a very good, straightforward brown ale. And that's it, guys. As always, if you did enjoy, please like, please subscribe, please share with a friend. Have a beer. Have one of these beers if you find it. It was a little hard to find, honestly. These are a little difficult to seek out here in the Michigans, but we'll see you next time. Cheers.